Hi everyone, I've been wanting to make this video for a while. I wanted to call out 5 health and wellness supplement products that I think are running rampant in our society right now and are completely bogus. So I wanted to bring some scientific journals and studies into this video and really evaluate some of the claims these products have been making. I am in no way claiming to be a nutritionist in this video. When I started becoming interested in nutrition, it was pretty much when I was very young because we didn't have iPads to scroll or phones to browse on. So whatever was in the house and the material in the bathroom, in the kitchen counter, that's what you had to read. And in my nutrition conscious family, that meant Nutrition Action Magazine. It basically trained me from an early age to understand nutrition, spot bad science, and recognize wellness nonsense from a mile away. I still remember the back page where they compared 2 totally random unrelated foods, where the left was the right stuff and the right was food porn. Some examples of their comparisons include coleslaw mix versus Magnum ice cream bars, or quinoa versus a double cheeseburger. So basically, consider this the adult version of my early bathroom education in nutrition. So all of that being said, here are the 5 bogus, relatively new health and wellness supplement products that I think should be exposed for the scams that they are. Number 1, apple cider vinegar gummies. Liquid apple cider vinegar, like the popular Bragg organic apple cider vinegar, is raw, unfiltered, and contains the mother, a mix of proteins, enzymes, and good bacteria formed during fermentation. Liquid apple cider vinegar has been shown in several studies to modestly reduce post-meal blood glucose, but only in diabetic patients. And even then, it's an adjunct, not a replacement for medication. But here's the key part. A 2020 study by Natasha Feise and Carol Johnston found that vinegar supplements, like these popular apple cider vinegar gummies, do not produce the same glucose-lowering effect as liquid vinegar in young, healthy adults. So the benefit people associate with apple cider vinegar doesn't apply to these gummies. On top of that, many ACV gummies contain added sugar, which would counteract any theoretical benefits. The previously mentioned popular apple cider vinegar company, Bragg Live Food Products LLC, filed a complaint with the National Advertising Division about the health claims Goli was making, such as that its gummies with a trivial amount of acetic acid can help manage weight loss, detoxify the body, and enhance energy. CEO of Bragg, Linda Boardman, said, "It really puts a negative halo on ACV when you're buying a product that really has no more ACV health benefits than if you were eating a candy." Vinegar has a long history of practical uses. Hippocrates, the father of modern medicine, used vinegar to clean wounds more than 2,000 years ago. Although it is important to note, apple cider vinegar and vinegar are no longer recommended for wound cleaning. However, its antimicrobial properties are still used today in beauty care, such as diluting it to use as a facial toner or diluting it to use as an all-purpose cleaner in the home. But a gummy with a gram of sugar does not replicate any of these benefits, and therefore, I deem it useless. Number 2, ashwagandha. Ashwagandha has been in use as a medicinal plant for thousands of years, especially in traditional Ayurvedic medicine. However, in the modern capitalist wellness world, it's sold like a miracle solution for everything from stress to anxiety, sleep, focus, sexual function, and beyond. Fun fact I found, the name comes from Sanskrit, Ashwa meaning horse and Gandha meaning smell, because the roots supposedly smell like a wet horse. If that doesn't make you want to try it, I don't know what will. But don't worry, you won't taste it. They cover this one in sugar too. And some studies do show that ashwagandha can reduce stress, lower anxiety, and improve sleep. But the research isn't clear. Different studies use various doses and different extracts of the plant, which don't give consistent results. And most gummies on the shelf don't contain anywhere near the amount of the standardized extracts used in clinical trials. So expecting the same results is unrealistic. A little bit of a personal anecdote here, but from my work as a social worker, I've seen parents who have been exposed to this marketing that promotes these gummies as natural, holistic alternatives to psychiatric medications, and they've considered them as alternatives for their child who's suffering with ADHD or anxiety. The marketing hype surrounding these wellness products can make them sound natural and harmless, but it's not the whole story, and the hype can mislead people into delaying proper mental health treatment or medical treatment, and also provide false hope.
And while ashwagandha use is generally well tolerated in healthy people short term, up to 3 months, it can cause stomach upset or drowsiness. There also have been some important safety risks to consider. There have been rare cases of liver injury and thyroid disturbances, including interactions with thyroid medications. It can raise testosterone and interfere with hormones, which may be unsafe for hormone-sensitive conditions. Regulators advise avoiding it during pregnancy, breastfeeding, and endocrine disorders. It also may interact with medications such as antidiabetics, antihypertensives, immunosuppressants, and sedatives.
In conclusion, adaptogens like ashwagandha aren't inherently bad, but they aren't without risk. It's important to talk to a healthcare provider, especially if you have a mental health condition or a physical condition. It's important we don't treat supplements as replacements for medical care, therapy, or prescribed medication. And most importantly, question everything. Remember, these brands just want your money. They don't care about your health. So do your own research and always check whether the dose and active ingredients in these supplements actually match what has been studied in clinical trials.
Number 3, prebiotic sodas.
Cheers! Prebiotic sodas like Poppy or Olipop are lower sugar sodas compared to other options like Coca-Cola or Sprite, but they've really leaned into this label as the healthy soda. And the big selling point for a while was their gut health claim.
Because they contain inulin, a type of plant fiber. This claim got Poppy into some legal trouble. Right before PepsiCo announced it agreed to pay $1.65 billion to acquire the brand, because nothing screams wellness like the corporation that literally makes Mountain Dew. Anyway, Poppy agreed to an $8.9 million class action settlement in 2025 over the gut healthy claim, but it denies any wrongdoing.
The point is, if you're seeking inulin as a prebiotic, you're far better getting it from real whole foods rather than a soda.
You can obtain inulin through a diet rich in beans, sweet potatoes, nuts, avocado, broccoli, whole grains, and many other healthy foods. These sodas also contain sugar, same issue as the ACV gummies. Poppy, for example, has a tiny, clinically meaningless amount of apple cider vinegar paired with 4 to 5 grams of added sugar depending on the flavor, which likely cancels out any theoretical health benefit.
A critical care specialist and gut health researcher at the Mayo Clinic in Rochester, Minnesota, whose name I'm not even going to attempt to pronounce, but I will reference her in the description, explains the difference between probiotics and prebiotics.
Probiotics are live beneficial bacteria found in fermented foods like yogurt, kimchi, pickles, some cheeses. They help support a healthy gut and digestion. Prebiotics aren't alive. They are fibers in your body that can't fully digest. They feed your good gut bacteria. Think of them as the fertilizer for your microbiome. You get them from foods like legumes, whole grains, bananas, and oats.
Bottom line, prebiotic sodas aren't true health supplements. For real gut benefits, whole foods that contain probiotics and prebiotics are far more effective. And you can drink water, tea, whatever floats your boat, but cut back on the sugar.
Number 3, mushroom coffee.
If you're anywhere near the side of YouTube that I've been on, you've probably been getting a lot of advertisements for mushroom coffee, specifically a brand called Rise.
Brands like Rise love to highlight that medicinal mushrooms have been used for thousands of years in traditional Chinese and Ayurvedic medicine, then leap straight to promising sharper focus, better workouts, stronger immunity, improved sleep, and even weight loss level metabolism boosts.
Here's the reality. Yes, mushrooms do have a long history of medicinal use. However, many of the studies that these claims are based upon were done upon lab animals or in test tubes. There is not a lot of human studies that can support the evidence of these claims. And in the human studies that do look promising, the doses are much higher than what you get in a scoop of this mushroom coffee, because the first ingredient in this mushroom coffee is instant coffee. Who's to say some of these benefits aren't from the caffeine? The mushrooms are a trivial piece in this.
An article from Harvard Health notes that mushroom coffee is unlikely to harm you, but also unlikely to meaningfully help you in any way. There's just not enough active mushroom extract per serving to produce the benefits these companies are shilling, even though there's definitely enough to jack up that price.
To make matters worse, there also allegedly seems to be some bad business practices going on here. Many people on Reddit and the Better Business Bureau repeatedly complain about being auto-enrolled in a Rise auto shipment service, even though many of them claim they consciously did not click subscribe. So even if the mushroom benefits never get to you, the checkout page might. And like most of the other companies on this list, Rise had a little rendezvous this September 2025 with the National Advertising Division, who opened an inquiry on Rise's health benefit claims, such as having all-day energy, sharper focus, healthier digestion, and a matcha product that they own that they implied had GLP-1-like benefits.
But Rise stood their ground. They had the evidence, and they brought all their clinical human mushroom coffee trials to the table. Just kidding, they dropped all of the health claims under investigation.
So you want real benefits? Eat real mushrooms. Throw some portobellos or shiitakes in with your breakfast. Scramble. Maybe a side of coffee. The real stuff, not the mushroom one. You'll get real fiber, real nutrients, real coffee, and absolutely no unwanted subscriptions.
Number 5. Vaginal health candy. The most recent blatant example of a celebrity profiting off women's insecurities has to be Kourtney Kardashian's Lemme vaginal probiotic gummies and lollipops.
Vaginal hygiene products like this thrive because women are told that their bodies are dirty or flawed, or must smell sweet to be acceptable. The wellness industry and the Kardashians profit from women's insecurities.
Vaginas are not sugar, candy, fruit, or dessert, so they're not supposed to taste or smell like fruit, candy, sugar, or dessert. A vagina has a natural scent that shifts along your cycle and with your hormones. And most importantly, vaginas are a self-cleaning organ.
Products like the Lemme probiotic vitamin gummies and lollipops claim to be able to change the vaginal odor, pH, and taste, but there is zero scientific evidence that they can.
These unproven claims haven't gone unnoticed. There's a class action litigation firm, Zimmerman Reed, and they investigated Lemme vaginal health gummies for potentially having misleading marketing.
Women have been taking care of their vaginas for a very long time, long before the Kardashians ever existed. All in all, the evidence-based way to take care of your vaginal health is extremely straightforward.
Shower regularly. Water on the vulva is enough. Don't put soaps, perfumes, fragrances, or any candies or any type of weird stuff inside your vagina. Use protective sex practices, get tested regularly, and see your OBGYN for routine care, or if anything seems off, like smell, discharge, itching, or discomfort.
Just remember, your health is your wealth. Don't give it away to the latest trend. Do your own research, stay smart, stay vigilant, don't fall for the hype, question everything.